Hey guys, so the other day my friend came in from America. He flew in, he saw another friend of mine in Osaka, and then he came up here to Tokyo to meet me and a couple other people that he knew from back home in the States who are working here in Japan right now. And so seeing him again and getting to hang out with him again and catch up a little bit and thinking about like what I've been missing behind in America while he's been there and I've been in Japan and thinking about home in general, I realized there's actually a whole lot about America that I've missed that I've not been thinking about because I like being in Japan so much. I love the food in Japan, I love the people in Japan, I love being here in Japan and doing all the cool things that Japanese people get to do every day and living that kind of life. But I didn't really spend a lot of time like reflecting on things that I miss about home until I started seeing my friend again. So these are some things that I miss about America that, thanks to my friend who came to visit, thank you Tyler, kind of sparked my interest and made me want to like go back home and do these things again. So what do I miss? What do I miss? There's all these kind of things that I miss. I think like the thing that really hits me like the most is probably food. Food feels really nostalgic when I get it here that I haven't had in a long time. And like something that I never find here in Japan, even though like, you know, sometimes I can find like tortillas or something at the store, salsa or something like that, is like Americanized Mexican food, like Tex-Mex style food. Like I'm from Florida, and in Florida we have like all kinds of, you know, Hispanic folk who move in and start restaurants and this sort of thing. We also have like, you know, generic Taco Bell and generic whatever, you know, place that serves tacos and quesadillas around Orlando. But I miss that food so much. I can't get it here. There's no guacamole, there's no chipotle, there's no tacos, there's no quesadillas. There's nothing like that. I can't go get a fix of like some good cheesy mix of, you know, yummy tomatoes and beef and queso and all this other stuff on it. And I miss my fix. I miss my fix. I used to eat it all the time back in America. That and like something else they don't have here. As much as they love tea in Japan, they don't have sweet tea. Like sweet tea from like, you know, the southern states in America, real sweet tea. That's just like, you know, they squeeze that lemon in there, it's all mixed in and it's all good. It comes out ice cold at like whatever restaurant you want to go to, and you sip on it and you lean back and you just feel like this, you know, this and my Mexican food, or this and my burger, or this and my whatever. I miss the combo. I miss sweet tea and I miss the food back home, particularly Mexican food. That stuff is hard to find here, and I crave it and I miss it and I want it so bad. So the next thing so I find myself missing movies a lot too. In Japan you can find movies from America, you can find Japanese films, and there's always like looking online, like watching movies on Netflix, because I have Netflix here, or Hulu if you have a Hulu account, or Amazon Prime, or doing any sort of those sort of things. You can find movies online if you want to watch American movies online. But there's not like, I love going to the movie theater, and like Yuki and I in particular like going on dates and doing that sort of thing. That's been like a really big component of like our dating lifestyle, has been going to movies, and part of that's because Yuki loves movies and she learned English by going to movies and loving movies and that sort of thing. And so, you know, vicariously by doing this for dates, I've also taken much more of an interest in movies that are coming out and this sort of thing. And in Japan, because movies have to get translated and then come to Japan, and sometimes they show them with just subtitles in the English dialogue, and sometimes they dub over it, it takes time before it gets released here. So a brand new movie that I want to cut, like that comes out in America, is out for like several months. I have to avoid spoilers every time. I can't go like googling anything about it, or I'm gonna get like spoiled. And I like seriously miss being able to go to like a new movie every week, have a new one to look forward to, a new superhero movie, a new thriller, a new scary movie, this sort of thing. And it just takes so long for it to come out here in Japan. It's like super painful. And all I want to do is like take Yuki to the movie theater and see a nice movie, but I can't because I go to the movie theater 3 times in a month, or 3 times in like 2 months, and we're out of movies to watch. Then we're back to Netflix, or back to Hulu, or back to like watching it online. And that's great and all, but there's nothing like being in a movie theater, watching a movie, having your popcorn, having your drink, and doing that, and just having that kind of like night out. There's nothing else quite like that for the movie watching experience, and I miss that. I miss being able to go all the time and watch movies. And on that note too, in particular, and this is a rule all about Japan, like they don't do unlimited refills for like soda, and they don't do unlimited refills for popcorn either. So if you're going to the movie theater in Japan and you want to get like your popcorn and you want to get your soda, you only get one. You get a large soda and a large popcorn, and they're not going to refill it for you, or you have to buy a whole new one. In America, you can go and you can get a huge tub of popcorn, a huge Coke, and you can chug it all down and eat all your popcorn and get all the way down to the bottom, and you can take it out and get it refilled, get a whole new one, and then get it refilled when you leave, and go home and watch another movie at your house and eat more popcorn and drink more soda, and it's unlimited. It's great. But in Japan, that's not the case. You get a large, which is like a medium in Japan, and you get to eat that, and then it goes away, and then you drink your little melon soda, which is the best soda in the whole wide world, and it goes away, and then you have nothing left, and then you just have to watch the movie, and your hands aren't busy, and you don't get to do anything. So I miss unlimited refills. I miss movies having more movies out, and I miss unlimited refills on everything in America too.
And they don't have melon soda.
They don't have melon soda in America. They don't, which is a crime against humanity because it is the best thing in the whole wide world. That's something we should bring that back. We should throw that to me. Toss it. Melon soda, Fanta melon soda. We have this brand in America. Why do we not have melon flavored Fanta? Yuki, catch! Oh, there we go. So on a related, similar food note, there's a bit of a trend going on today about food and me missing food-related things. Fruit in Japan and like food in general in Japan. Shopping, like in America, they say like if you go shopping, you'll save a lot of money as opposed to like going out and eating at restaurants every night. And that's true in Japan too. But it really depends on what you're eating when you're out in Japan. So like in America in particular, this is like true of fruit in particular in Japan. But in America, you go out and you want to buy a giant watermelon, you want to buy cantaloupe, you want to buy like a pack of lettuce, you want to buy anything under the sun in like the produce section, strawberries, grapes, you name it, and it doesn't cost you all that much. I mean, I didn't realize until I came here just how big of a difference it is. But if you want to buy like a watermelon in America, it's like probably what, like under $6? I don't really remember, but under $6, something like that. And it's a big ass watermelon. It's huge. It's a big thing. And then you come to Japan and they sell these cute, tiny little watermelons. They're like round and they have a little sock on it. I'll put like a clip from the last video I put out when I went to the grocery store. I made a goofy video about that. Check here for that. Or here. Check here for that. And they wear these cute little socks and stuff. And they're adorable and they're really tasty. But for one watermelon, that's probably like the equivalent of like a sixth of an American-sized watermelon. You pay more money for that. It's almost $10 or $12 for a watermelon. And that's ridiculous. That's crazy. And I don't know if it's because Japan has to import a lot of their stuff, and so it's, you're paying for the cost of importing watermelon, or because it's, in Japan, they grow it, and because they don't have a lot of room in Japan, and the farmer unions are really strong, they jack the price up because they can. It's Nihon, it's Japan made, so like they can do whatever they want with it. But it makes wanting to eat healthy like a lot harder to do here when it burns through your pocket a lot more than it does in America. When I would cook in America when I was at school, I felt like I was saving money, but then I come to Japan and I feel like I could also like just go out and eat food and spend $7, or I could like go to the grocery store and buy meat and buy fruit for like a nice combined meal of nutrients, and then it still costs me the same. I could go get food out and have a nice time with friends, or go on a date with Yuki and treat her out, or I could stay home for the same amount of money and have an in-home dinner. So you take it as you go, but that's frustrating. I miss that about America. I'm gonna eat so much watermelon when I get home. I cannot wait. So I don't know if it's just that I'm hungry or whatever, but I'm gonna talk about food again. So like so my parents know this because they always send me stuff from the States. But I love candy in America. I love candy in America. I love Mike and Ike's. I love Twizzlers. I love Nerds. I love Pez. I love the sugarier, the more sugar in the candy, the happier I am. And I can eat some candy. I love candy. I'm one of those people that gets like a box of something, like M&M's or like Red Hot Tamales or whatever, and I'll eat a whole box in one sitting, and it's gross and I feel terrible afterwards. But oh, I love it so much. And the candy they have in Japan is good. Like, it tastes good and it's chewy, whatever, it's okay. But you get these small packages, these like small portion size, which is another thing about Japan. Everything has these small portions. I miss big portions in America, but for candy at least, like, the candy is not as sweet and there's not as much variety. I feel like everything is like the same kind of candy a lot of the time, like similar flavors or similar like, like shapes and textures and this sort of thing. And in America, like, Japanese people will say like the candy's way too sugary and that it's like too hard to eat and it's not good, it's too artificial. But that's something that I love, and something that like, so I love sweet things just in general too, and I love cakes, and I love the icing that goes on like American cakes when you buy them from like the grocery store, or like you just get icing from the grocery store and you put on like your own cakes that you make. But in Japan, they use creams like on the top of their cakes, and they tend to be like a little bit more like artesian and fancier and more expensive and that sort of thing here. And so they're used to like these cakes that taste good, and they're good cakes and they're high quality, but there's just not a lot of like sugar in it. And I miss the cakes that you slice into and it's got like the layer of chocolate frosting on the top and the layer of the chocolate frosting in the middle, and the cake itself is chocolate, and you get the sprinkles all over it, and you like have like Oreos with it and ice cream, and then you like eat all that stuff up for your birthday or for what, I don't know, it was just celebrating something, and it's so sugary and so good, and it just blows your brain while you're eating it, because I can't do that here. Like, the candy's good and I can eat the candy here, but I can't eat that much candy and it's not that sugary. And the cakes feel more like healthy than anything because they're covered in strawberries and good yummy creams that are like pretty healthy and not that sugary. And so I just feel like I'm not getting my fix of sugar, my like what I need, which is a reoccurring theme here with sweet tea and then candies and cakes and this sort of thing. So I miss that. I want that. Mom and Dad, if you're watching, please send me more candy. I love you so much. Please send me more candy. I miss you. Let's Skype soon. But I miss candy. I miss it so bad. And this is the next one's a big one, at least for me. So being from Florida, like Florida's always hot. Like in the winter, it still can be kind of warm. It drops down, it's cold. You don't need like, you know, like you don't need a sweater, you don't need a jacket, you don't need long pants if you don't want to in Florida. It can get cold, but it's usually warm. And during the summer, it's blistering hot and it's terrible and it's sweaty and it's gross. And in Japan, like having all 4 seasons, you know, you go through winter where it's super cold and you go through summer where it's super hot. And what you do in America, which isn't the most environmentally, you know, the most environmentally safe or the most environmentally conscious thing to do, but you can use your AC, your air conditioner, and you can kind of like moderate the temperature in your house. And when you go to work or you go to any sort of store or any sort of business in America, you can expect it to be comfortable when you walk through the front door. So you're going to be sitting to getting your taxes done, you're going to be sitting in a restaurant, you're going to be doing something like that. You're going to feel like comfortable the whole time you're there. If not, maybe a touch cold, and that's why everyone always like you see people wearing their jackets and stuff in restaurants. But like in Japan, there's this sense of, you know, keeping like the environment safe and keeping things clean, which is something I totally respect and American people should learn from Japanese. But as a result, like you go to work and you're sitting around in school and you're wearing your normal kick around clothes because you're allowed to wear that when you're at school or when I'm teaching at school. And it's just like during the summer, it's freaking hot. It's blistering hot outside, and then there's no air coming through the building, and they have no AC going on, and they have the fans barely running around in the hallways or in some of the classrooms, and everyone is melting. Everyone's sweating. The kids are melting in their desks. The teachers aren't happy about it. No one looks happy. Papers are sticking to your hands because your hands are sweaty, and you just feel gross, and you come home and you're nasty and you're dripping, and it's all for a good cause to keep things like more environmentally safe here in Japan and to reduce like carbon emission, all that stuff. Like, it's totally commendable. And it's hard going from spending your life in like these comfortable, controlled conditions to then being at work and kind of being in this environment with everyone where you're working hard for the sake of the environment, which I like, but I guess you can see that I'm a little bit conflicted here. I like it, but at the same time I'm hot. And I like it, but at the same time during winter I'm freezing. And then in the spring and the fall it's actually really nice. But I don't think Japanese people even particularly like it, but I think everyone just suffers through it together because that's what everyone does. So, you know, I think in the future I'd like to be more like Japan when I'm living back in the States again. Maybe not make things so cold or make things so hot and make my air conditioner work so hard. But I'll definitely make it so I'm not sweating when I'm just sitting in my house. So, I don't know. I miss that about America, that like, you know, it's totally okay to use your air conditioner. So guys, that's the video. If you guys liked the video, please subscribe, hit the like button if you thought it was interesting or funny. If you're in Japan right now and there's stuff you miss about America or something back home, let me know. I probably miss it too. And if you have any sort of questions for me or videos you want to see in the future or that sort of thing, let me know down in the comment section down below. We're putting out a new video real soon. Guys, thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. We should bring that back. We should throw that to me. Toss it.